A Jerusalem Bible for every situation. Hello everyone. I have spoken ad nauseum on this channel about my appreciation for the Jerusalem Bible and how I found a surprising enjoyment of this particular translation. And I am thankful to Dale, my neighbor, for kind of sparking that interest. And while I had picked one up prior to watching Dale's videos on the Jerusalem Bible, I had not really spent much time reading it or looking it over. I had picked up a Jerusalem Bible, this fake leather edition here, at a Goodwill for free a couple of years ago. And once I began to read from it, doing morning and evening prayer, the daily office lectionary readings from that, I found that I liked it quite a bit and became a spokesperson for the Jerusalem Bible translation among those who will listen to me. So I really like the Jerusalem Bible, and you will find that you can find these nearly everywhere in whatever configuration you choose. We see that it is a Doubleday production. 1966 is the English version. It's originally translated into French, and the English translation is it follows that closely. Apparently, they say they translated it directly from the original languages, but from what I understand, it appears in some places they are translating somewhat from the French, or at least consulting the French. Regardless, it's a lovely translation. So these are a handful to hold, I tell you. The first one I got is this faux leather. It's basically like a cardboard. Jerusalem cross on the front, gold printing, Doubleday. Not much else. Came with a fraying red ribbon. And it is a big boy. Just a hair under maybe 1 5/8 inches, 1 7/8 inches thick. Love the layout. That's part of what I love about it. When you open here to the Psalms, you see it particularly nice, but it is single column throughout. Actually helpful footnotes. Has some places where the print is lighter than others, so production wasn't the highest quality perhaps. Absolutely love it. It is a Catholic translation, and from what I understand, approved for liturgical use in England, I believe. So that was the first one I found, and once I realized how much I loved it, I kept my eyes peeled for others, and they seem to be everywhere, because the next one I found at my favorite charity bookshop in Bluffton, Ohio. Jerusalem Bible. This is the bigger boy. So the other one was just under 2 inches. This one is cover and all 3 inches thick, 3-inch book. Hardcover. This actually came with a dust cover that is a bit ripped up, so I have removed it. I still have it, but it's somewhat worn. It also came with a slipcase of I think the same material that the cover is, kind of a really thick cardboard. Just basically has thicker paper. I think everything is identical apart from that. It's just check and see if the pagination is the same. I believe it is. Yeah, so if we go to page 753 in both, it's Job 22. The printing seems a little more uniform in this hardcover. The paper is a little more opaque and just a higher quality. It's not white. I don't know if that's oxidation, acid, or that's just the way it was printed. It's pleasing to the eye. And obviously, as a Catholic translation, you have the books that many Protestants call the Apocrypha that are in their traditional places. So we've got the 2-inch faux leather, the 3-inch hardcover. I feel like I'm doing my physical therapy. We also have a reader's edition, which is curious because I would say this is already a reader's edition. It's single column. It does have footnotes, but something I didn't mention, verse numbers in the gutter rather than in the text. So when we come to this Jerusalem Bible Reader's Edition, here we have the hardcover. It's been abused a little bit in its life, but you take what you find at the thrift, right? We have kind of this almost hand-drawn Jerusalem cross, which I like. Gives it some character. Paper on this one seems a little lower quality. I'm assuming that's acid or oxidation or something. Also, you have these odd, I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but these odd striations in the paper. I don't know what caused that, but it's all throughout the book. Just vertical stripes running through. But again, still single column, still verse numbers in the gutter. There are some footnotes, but they are significantly reduced. When you're working with a big book, it's hard to put the whole thing in the screen. So maybe poor quality paper, less footnotes. Also the typeface, I'm realizing, appears to be different. Or maybe I'm imagining it. I'm going to check the page numbers here and see if they correlate. I didn't do this ahead of time. That would have been smart. They do not correlate, so different pagination from the readers to the standard. Are you getting much more in terms of portability with a reader's edition? That's something else you might consider would be a factor in calling something a reader's edition. We've got 2 3/8 inches, so thicker than the non-reader's edition fake leather. You have thicker paper, but I would say probably a poorer quality paper from what I can see. But attractive looking hardcover. And then Jerusalem Bible Reader's Edition. These are all Doubleday. I love how dated this cover looks. Let's start with it's very floppy. 2 3/8. Seems to have similar paper to the hardcover Reader's Edition. Let's go to Psalm 84 and check the oh, I almost had it one page off. That was pretty good. Check the page numbering. It is the same. So the same text block in both of these. Very similar paper, although this one doesn't have those vertical striations that this one has. So and the paper isn't as oxidized, so it may be a different paper, but it feels similar. So anyway, 4 different editions of the Jerusalem Bible, none of them easy to carry, but worth the effort if you ask me. The Bible in this format, I have mixed thoughts about. One, it's not super easy to carry, but if you're someplace where public transportation is a thing, which I'm not, you're riding on the bus or some such, could you see pulling out a book like this to read? Maybe. You're in public, going to the cafe or whatever cool people do. Bring that out at the table and read it. Maybe. By way of comparison, I have lugged my well-worn paperback copy of Infinite Jest many places. And sorry, I'm whacking the camera here. You be the judge. Pretty comparable. Is Infinite Jest Reader's Edition? I don't think so. If I'm willing to lug this around, why shouldn't I be willing to lug this around? Just delightful coloring. I love the 60s, 70s look to it. Jerusalem Bible, I give it 2 thumbs up. I'm not going to cover the contents of it, the quality of the translation. There's plenty of videos on that. But just here are some options for you. And the great thing about it, if you want to find a copy, is how ubiquitous it is. You can find them anywhere, as I tend to do, and I am a sucker when I see them, as you can tell by the number that I have accumulated here. There you go. That's it for today. Just find yourself a copy, whatever that copy looks like. Lift with your knees, not with your back, and just enjoy. Thanks for watching today. Hope to see you here again next time.